Hello, everyone. Looks like I'm live with all of you. So, welcome to our daily tools. And today I want to talk about something that I mentioned a few days back on another call, 10-second increments. 10-second increments is really all those areas of your life where you can unchoose what you chose and made any choice significant. So 10-second increments is where when you start to work within 10-second increments and you start to use the tool of 10-second increments, you actually start to recognize that no choice of yours is real after 10 seconds. It's just true for those 10 seconds. But what we do and what we have been so, I forgot to record it. Doesn't matter. Okay. So what we do and what we have been so trained to do is to make our choices significant and conclude them as right or wrong. Like this was a good choice. This worked for me. This was a bad choice. It's almost like a conclusion around choices that you make, so you can then judge another choice of yours that you make in the future based on this choice of yours that was right or wrong. So you kind of, you make a choice and then you make that significant and make it like a reference point. So every time that you have to make a different choice or you have to do something in your life, you kind of go backwards to the reference point of what you had chosen as right. So you want to see if your new choice or your different, whatever you're choosing right now, is the same or is similar or is as good and not bad. And you're constantly in judgment, trying to compare the two choices. And if you made a choice and it didn't work for you, and you go into the judgment of it, as in the wrongness of it, and you're like, oh my God, this was a really bad choice. I'm never going to do this again. Now you've gone into such a conclusion of the choice. So now everything that you choose, you have to again refer to it to see, I hope it's not as bad, and I hope it doesn't work out as bad as it did in the past. So a 10-second increment is where you recognize that every choice of yours is real and true just for 10 seconds. And after those 10 seconds, it's not real. It's just a choice that you made, something that worked for you or something that didn't work for you. What if you can imagine that every choice of yours expires after 10 seconds? What if its expiry date is 10 seconds? What if every choice of yours comes with an expiry date of 10 seconds? Would you then make any choice significant, or would you look at every choice as something that you chose and now you have choice again? Does that mean that you become fickle-minded? No, it does not. It actually requires you to be really present with the choice that you made. It requires you to be really present with knowing that you have more choices. And it also requires you to be total inclusion of everything that's available instead of being the exclusion of living in the judgment of your choice. If you could start to actually live in 10-second increments, and if you could start to look at every choice of yours as something that knowing that there is limitless choice. We talked about the infiniteness yesterday and the infinite being that you be. What if you have limitless choice? What if you have infinite choices? But you have made yourself so limited and so finite by making your choices so limited and finite. So what if every 10 seconds you could make a different choice? And true choice always comes from a space of inclusion and not separation. It also comes from a space of choosing for you, not choosing against somebody or against you. It's not like I'm going to choose this because, you did this to me. So now I'm going to do this simply because you did this to me. So that's not a choice. That's you living in reaction. When you live in choice, when you're choosing every 10 seconds, there is no space for reaction. Because with every choice of yours, you know that every choice of mine will create something. It's different from karmas because karmas has a negative and a positive attached to it, which is a cause and effect. This is a little different. And this really set me free because I started to look at every choice of mine as something that created and something that did not create. And you're being in allowance of your choices, not in judgment of your choices. So my dear friends, if you would like to know more about the 10-second increments, there is, like I mentioned yesterday, the brilliant book of 10 Keys to Total Freedom. This is also one of the keys to total freedom. And if you would like, get that book for yourself or get the telecall by Gary and Dane, which is again wonderful, or get yourself to a foundation class where we will talk about the 10 keys of total freedom. And your willingness to be present with your choices requires you to be in total allowance of your choices and everybody else's choices, which actually melts the judgment that you have of yourself and of everybody else. What if you could live a judgment-free life? That there is no space for judgment of you did wrong and you did right, but you could actually look at this is not a contribution and it's not really creating for me. I'd like to choose something different. Instead of this is bad, it didn't work for me, it's so horrible, it's so bad, they are so bad. It has a lot of charge. That plus and minus, that negative and positive has a lot of charge. But if you look at something and you be aware of this person doesn't contribute to my life anymore, you can actually look at it without getting all charged and in reaction to that person, but actually receive that person, be in allowance of the person, but have your own back first, where you're not in reaction to that, but you have your own back to know what would create greater. So now that person cannot do what they did to you because you chose a moment of unawareness with them. You see, you have to be unaware to have yourself being at the effect of something. If you are aware, can anyone do anything to you? If you're truly choosing to be aware, you will acknowledge everything is a choice. And you will acknowledge that every moment of making a choice from the space of unconsciousness and unawareness will create unease, pain, distaste in your life. Have fun with this, friends. Enjoy the 10-second increments. And if you would like more, I'm here for you. Feel free to text me. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.